the invitation stands if you want to meet, if you want to come and visit the kids.
You're welcome anytime.
That's right.
Okay.
They here.
We have nothing to hide.
She had to stay in there. Now what she did was she
I'm going
went across the road. Bye.
Yeah.
I could have put him in a cage like that, but I fucking cannot put an animal in a cage. So at one stage they were happy to just roam about, but then the little motherfucker kept going to the neighbour across
They
the
do,
road.
and you've
Yeah.
got to trim their wings down so they don't fly.
Yeah.
Because they can jump. You've got to have a high fence for them.
Yeah.
That's why
But
one of the things I'm looking for it.
But I've got the high fences, but I don't want them fenced in. So I thought I'll give her some leeway. And then she stayed away for 2 days. I'm like, no, fuck that. So the lady across the road I know really well. So I let her know. I said, if she gets there again, please could you just tell me and I'll come and fetch her. And fuck me. The next morning I was coming down and here she comes, with the 4 babies.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
do
are
that.
you fucking... Because what we do, now I don't kill animals, but what we would do is we would take an egg and just shake it. You know, because, I mean, I'm not a breeder and we don't want babies. So I got her back in here. Unfortunately, one of the babies died because what she does is she jumps on that high fancy thing to sleep. And
Yep.
they do too. And we got there the next morning and he was just cold.
Yeah,
and
too
shivering.
cold now, though, yeah.
So we made her...
The reason being that is because Eric and Matilda were hand raised and they don't know how to look after babies, which is one of the reasons why I got them, because they were not wanted.
Yeah.
And they also were
she's-
causing problems.
Yeah,
she's
she's a good
learning.
one.
She's good, and
Yeah.
she learned because I was teaching her and the chickens were teaching her.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why I had her with the chickens. The chickens also calmed them down because they were so hyperactive
Yeah.
with what they were doing and the things that they've been doing. That's why I said to you about keep them with the chickens. The chickens will keep them under control.
Fought.
Yeah.
They thought
That had the occasional argument where you'll
but
have Matilda
I-
bang one of the females on the head because they play the matriarch game.
Yeah, but I hate animals fighting. So they had a huge fallout where there was fucking feathers and blood, and I said no. So I got them a bigger enclosure, and I mean they free roaming. Now I could have gotten rid of them a long time ago. Council wanted to take them off us. SPCA wanted to take them off us. Alan was here and he said, listen, because they constantly in the fucking streets, I'm constantly on the hate rates. And I said, no. I said, I made you a promise once. The animals are safe here. So the day that you sort it, that you don't need to put the animals in a car, you can have your animals back. That's not what it's about. I don't want to keep your animals. I've got enough fucking animals. Man, I've got a goose. If you go to the back, I've got enough animals to keep me a lifetime. So the animals is here, and you've always been welcome on this property.
No,
And-
you told me I wasn't welcome. You even sent me texts saying that I wasn't
but
welcome.
remember what happened?
All right.
You started accusing me that I was mistreating your cats. And I,
No, that started before I started making comments about that.
No,
because
you
I
sent
made the
me a
comments
message.
because you refused to let me see my cats when there was cat flu going on, and I kept asking you, are they eating? Because they hadn't been eating, and even Mindy, who was one of the ones that, or Mandy, whatever her name was, she said she hadn't seen them for 2 days when they first came in. You know, and I managed to get them to eat, and then when I came back a couple of days later, she said, oh, the first time we've seen them is when you come in, otherwise they won't come out and they won't eat.
remember, Mandy was on leave. By the time you came in, she was only back at work for 2 days.
And you'd only had them 2 days the first time I came in.
Yeah, no, you've been there a couple of times. I mean,
Yeah, that first time I came in was when you said I could come in, which was 2 days after you stole them from me, because
I
I had
didn't
to go
steal
to house view.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And
didn't
then
steal them.
I got to see them, and
Okay, let me ask you a question. Forget about everything. Do you think that I'm driving around looking for animals to steal?
you don't want to ask me that question
I
because
do.
the stuff I have read, the things I've heard from different people lately.
So if I steal a chain dog from a gangster guy that's been chained for 9 years, you don't think I've got a reason to do that?
If it's been chained for 9 years and you think it's not been looked after,
So
that's your
do
choice.
Do you think that I make money out of this?
Again, you don't want to ask me that question because, as I said, I have been having interesting conversations with a group of different people who have been
okay.
showing me different documents, which is why
So-
I'm not having that discussion. And I said to Julie and Andrew that I wouldn't go past certain things with discussing things with you.
Okay, so let's leave it at that. I'll tell you what my thing is. The offer is there if you ever wanted the animals to visit. They're here, you know where they are. As long
I've
as
seen my
we
peacocks,
can,
yeah.
as long as we can have a mutual agreement that you'll text me when you come. You don't even have to come into the house. And
Yeah, well, that's what I did last time, and then you turned around and said I couldn't come.
no,
You
remember
did.
last time you were up there with the girls.
No, the girls invited me because I just fed
But
the
it's
chickens,
not allowed.
and I
People-
texted you to say that they'd asked me, and I asked you if it was all right, and you
Yeah.
said, yeah, that's fine.
For now,
Yeah.
but now these girls are from Oranga Tamariki. I'm not allowed to have anybody else in the house without the proper documentation. You were there for a second time, and then you started accusing me, and I've got all the documentation that the cats has been losing weight. And I said, don't come with that.
They were losing weight.
Yeah, but then they picked up weight again. I mean,
I don't know that because you refused to answer my question when I asked you, are they eating? You accused me of a whole bunch of things, and I said, no, all I did was ask you, are they eating? Because they hadn't been eating when I'd seen them.
So did you. I've got your messages too, where you accused me. I wasn't even there. I didn't even go there. The girl said to me, Charmaine, don't even come here because we get into arguments because of the cats that's in cages. So me and the girls have a mutual agreement. Mandy and Faye does their thing and I do my thing. If they need me, I'm up there. But let me put it to you this way. I want you to continue with the court case because, I mean, the court case is impending. We've come so far. It will make you feel better because you will always think, fuck, did they invite me so that I didn't go ahead with the court case? So as a friend, I'm saying to you today, go ahead with the court case. I will be civil to you in court and I will be civil to you after court. And we can keep it that way. The day that you've got a house and say, Charmaine, I've got a house, I've got a little bit of a yard, I can say, listen, get the animals back. The 2 cats is in Mandy's care, in foster care, and the chickens is in the lady that used to do the sick cats at the back. She is the janitors of Waitoki School. They've got the chickens in their care for foster, and it's all in proper writing. So at any stage when the court says, okay, you need to give these animals back, or you come and say, Charmaine, you told me a long time ago I can get my animals back when I've got a yard, fine. So let's leave it at that. We'll shake. You're welcome at this house at any time. But one thing that I can tell you, I'm not an animal abuser. I don't care who tells you what.
Nobody said you're an animal abuser.
No,
it's just
the hate page says I am.
The hate page says about neglect, where you've gotten to the stage where you had too many and you couldn't look after them.
Yeah, but then what happened is now that the page was started by one of my best friends because I had the catchery up here. Murapara asked me if I could please help them with all these sick cats. I said, yes, I can. They said this old lady's a hoarder. She's got about 30 cats. I said, yep. So for 3 months, we didn't hear from Murapara cats, right? In the meantime, we went to Thames to take all those cats, which was going to be 22 cats. We came back with 58 cats. Then came Hep Place, and the lady said, please, could you help us clean up Hep Place? It's about 30 cats. We landed getting 60 cats. So by then, we were a bit over full, but we're pushing through it. And then lockdown happened. And lockdown, none of the vets were allowed to do anything for any cat if it's not emergency. You can call any vet. You can call Mangere, you can call this vet. So vaccinations and things they weren't allowed to do. Right?
That's interesting. Why I say that is because for this last lockdown that they did with the vets and stuff, I managed to get 2 cats desexed.
Desexing is an emergency.
Not according to the vets I was talking to.
Okay, well, as I said, we will leave it at that. So Murapara then came with all these cats of them. You can record it. I know you're recording it. Murapara came with all the cats, and all of a sudden we had too much. And I overexpanded, and I went way over capacity, and the staff had to deal with it. And it was really tough, but we've managed to do it. So at the end of the day, I made my mistakes. Money? What money? I put up all my bank statements on the hate page. I put up the vet bills. Vet bills came to $173,000 last year. We only got $58,000 in donations. That's with the SPCA, $25,000. And I've got the proof of it. I put up the bank statements, and then they took it off.
Oh no, I saw those.
But
I also saw other documents as well.
Yeah, well, as I said, so the offer is there if you wanted to visit your animals. But I want to ask you, I really want you to proceed with a court case.
Oh, I'm going to, because you put a notification on one of the pages about the sale of my peacock chicks. Those peacock chicks are actually worth quite a bit of money. So are the peacocks.
Can I ask you a favor?
What?
Record that. I'll do you a deal. You sell those peacocks.
I'm not selling them. I got them
for good money.
No.
And I will shake your hand. Because peacocks is worth zilch.
Actually, they're pieds, so each pied is worth $300 a piece. A breeding pair is worth $1,500. White ones are worth $1,000 by themselves.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Well, you can have your breeding pair back. Do you think I've made money out of them? we
You put a notification up that they were going to be for sale. I actually told the court about it.
For sale or for adoption?
For sale, for adoption, I'm not sure.
Adoption.
But
Adoption means zero money. So
no, adoption means you charge a fee for adopting.
What do you charge fee for adopting? You charge the vet fee. So when a cat gets desexed, you charge the desexing, the vaccinations and stuff. The peacocks, we've got no vet bills.
That's right.
So when they get rehomed to a property that's approved by us, we get no money. No money.
They're not supposed to be anyway because they're mine, and you're not supposed to be doing that with them anyway.
No, that's fine. But as I said, so please go ahead with the court case, because then you will know that the invitation by Julie and Andrew today it's got nothing to do with it.
I know that because that's why I talk with Julie. And I've known Julie for nearly 10 years. I've known Andrew for about 3.
Yep.
And they know that if they fuck up, I will actually come down on them like a ton of bricks because I've done it twice to Julie already.
Yeah, she's a good person.
Yes. And half the stuff she does is because I've told her to do it, for the funding and for the other bits and pieces, including for the stuff. Because I used to work for Love Soup. That's what those photos were. I started working for her in 2013 and have done on and off since then, which is why the argument between myself and Maggie took place. And the argument took place because Maggie tried to say I'd never worked for Love Soup, let alone for 5 years. And I'm like, well, that's interesting, since I've got the photos I took for when I was working for the Christmas Day and all the other places.
But the same, like you heard all the stories, I heard a lot of stories. So I believe what you tell me with a grain of salt, because I've read your stories and I've listened to people, authentic people that told me stories about you. But I put that aside for Julie and Andrew's sake, and I said fine. So we'll continue with the court case, but then I will be civil with you in court. And even up until today, if you drive down and say, I've got the yard, I'm not selling the peacock chicks, you can have them for free. It's got nothing to do with money. Do you think there's money in rescue?
It depends on who you're talking to. Because I know different organisations, some of them are legit and they do certain things a certain way. Others do shit as a tax write-off. And they rescue the animals, they sell them for a lot of money. Yeah.
When you're a charitable trust, you don't
Yeah,
pay
I know, because some of them use that as the excuse.
But you don't pay tax, so you don't need a tax write-off.
I'm just watching Eric at the moment, he's got his tail fluffed up.
Yeah. You don't need the tax write-off because a charitable trust doesn't pay tax. It's got nothing to do with taxes. So, any case, it was nice having you here.
Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed my dinner.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the conversation.
Okay. So when Julie and them is around, they most probably will invite you again. You're welcome to come and visit the other kids. And the court wanted the addresses and things from where the animals are, which we had provided. So if I don't see you in the next few days, we'll see one another in court. And as I said, happy to be civil with you.
Yep.
And after the court case, I'll still be happy being civil to you. But I want you to go away and think about the fact that any charity that makes a shitload of money, I'm in the wrong business.
Just for the
you
record,
must remember, I've got a business.
Yeah.
I've got a doggy hotel and a pet resort where I take care of people's animals for money. And I've got the business 12 years. And 10 years ago, I started using those funds to pay for my vet bills and start the charity. So the charity has got no money. It makes zero money.
that's what I saw in paperwork, yeah.
Oh, it makes no money. So it's made me poor. The sad part is, it has made me poor. It has made my kids poor. It has taken money away from my family. Because the family used to have money. At least my husband used to work full time. The money he used to bring home from the prison went to Vets North. And you can talk to Paula from Vets North. She will tell you the money we made goes to pay the vet bills. Not for my animals, for the rescue animals. So there's no money in rescue. And I worked bloody hard, owning a small little business, doing better and better and better. I'm not sitting back and taking donation money. There's no donation. Of the $58,000, we landed ourselves with $173,000 worth in vet bills.
As I said, I saw some of that paperwork, yeah.
Nice having you here. You have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Good night. And that was her trying to weasel her way out of things and contradict herself compared to what she said before. But she keeps forgetting that I have the fixes.